Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Mustafa. Today I'm going to teach you how you can create a form in React and how you can get the value or the text that has been typed inside a form. But before we get started, make sure to subscribe so that you get notified whenever I upload a new video. And by the way guys, I have created a complete course on how to create a social network using React. And you can take that course and you will take your React skills to the next level. You'll find the link in the description below. So let's get started. Now in our project we have this user component, and inside that user component you can add a form to that user component. Let's add a new form here, form, and then inside that form we can have the input. And we can have many inputs, and I'm going to create here an input, and that input can have attributes such as the placeholder. Let's say here placeholder, and that placeholder can have something like, let's say, type something about yourself, and then I'm going to save and check that in the browser. Now in the browser you should find here a new, if you refresh, you should find here a new component or a new input. So as you can see here, we have a new input here that says type something about yourself. You can type something here inside that input. And now what we want to do is that we want to get the text that the user is going to type here about him or herself. So how can we do that? Well, we can use something called refs. In React, there's something called refs, which lets you create a reference to an input, and then using that reference you can get the value of that input. So for example, here for that input we can give it a reference, and that reference is going to be equal to a variable that you create. Let's create a variable called this. Let's create a variable called about yourself, and that variable must be created in the constructor of that class. So here we have this user component, we have this constructor. Inside that constructor you need to use this, and then the name of the variable, which is about yourself, and then you need to tell React, hey React, I want to make a reference called about yourself. So we want that variable to be a reference, not just a simple variable. We want it to be a special type of a reference of a variable called reference. We want it to be a reference to that input, so that whenever we want to use that input for any purpose, we can use that reference to access that input. So to do that in React, you just type here React, and then you call create reference, create ref. So this way you told React, hey React, we want this about yourself variable to be a reference to this input, and then you can access that input value by using that about yourself. So for example, if you want to access the value that the user is going to type here, we first need to create a button here, input, and that is going to have a type of submit, and then it's going to have a value of submit. And then let me save and show you that in the browser. In the browser you should find now a button here. As you can see here, we have a submit button, and then what we want to do is that we want to give that button a click event. We want to listen for clicks on that button, so I'm going to say here on click, and then if the user clicks on that button we want to call a method. So I'm going to pass the method that I want to call, this dot button clicked, and then I'm going to create that method here, button clicked, and then it's going to be equal to an arrow function. And then we can simply use the alert to make sure that the button is working. I'm going to say here button clicked, and then I'm going to save. And now in the browser, let me refresh, and we have an error here. It should be, we should make sure that everything is correct. Let me again refresh, and now if I click on that button, as you can see, it's going to display this alert. But we want to display the text, that text that the user is going to type here. We want to display it inside that alert. How can we do that? How can we access the text? Very, very simple. Here in this button clicked, you can use this dot about yourself, and then dot current, and then dot value. That way you told React to get the value of that input, and then you can display it. You can copy it and display it inside here, inside that alert. Here, paste it, and then save. And now it's going to display the text that's inside that input, inside the alert. Let's now test that. Let's now refresh and test that. Let me now type here something. This is Mustafa, and then I'm going to click on submit. As you can see, it's going to display that text in the alert. So this is how you can get a text from an input and display it wherever you want, and get it to inside other methods and use it wherever you want. So hopefully this tutorial is useful, and if you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below. And again, check the description below because I have created a free ebook on how to make money online coding. And also, if you want to take your React skills to the next level, then make sure to take the course that I have created about how to create a social network using React. This is Most. Thanks for watching. I'll see you later.